We are in the shop today with the founders of Tellason, Pete and Tony. We're going to break down some of their classic jean styles and talk a little bit about how they were produced, why they were produced, and some of what's special about this denim. So thank you for joining us here. How did the name Tellason come about?
My last name Patella, his last name Searson. It's just a combination of the two. But we did, in probably the first year we were in business, get an email from a guy whose last name was Tellason, saying that he wasn't too happy about his name being used for a brand. And my reply was, well, at least they're made in the right place in the right way. But also that my last name Patella, which means kneecap. And I'm not too happy when I hear a sportscaster talking about a player injuring his patella. And he never responded, of course.
And a lot of the jeans, well, all of the jeans that we have are still the white oak cone mills.
Yeah.
What was the importance for you for choosing that mill in particular?
Well, I had been in denim in the 90s in San Francisco with a different brand, and we used all white oak denim. It wasn't selvage denim, but you know, the selvage area of white oak, the 51 looms they had making selvage was 2% of the overall space of the place. It couldn't have survived on its own.
It's like the size of a basketball court.
Yeah, it was. So it obviously couldn't have survived on its own. So the first call I made when we decided to do this was to the Cone Mills office in San Francisco, and the guy had remained a friend of mine even after I was out of denim before Tellason. And I said, is White Oak still open making selvage? He goes, yep. I go, I'll see you tomorrow. Then I called the factory, who I'd known since '93, that still makes our product. Still making jeans? Yeah, okay, I'll be there tomorrow.
Yeah.
We were lucky because of my connections with White Oak from the past. We were able to get good terms. We got access to fabrics that two guys walking off the street wouldn't have got, most likely. Over time, we were able to build up, and we had 3 proprietary fabrics with them that we designed with them for certain rigidity and indigo content characteristics. But I do remember this. On October 17th, 2017, I got a call.
Yeah.
Are you sitting down? I said, no, but you're going to tell me you're closing the mill.
Yeah.
And he goes, yeah, how did you know? I just found out half an hour ago.
Yeah.
And I said, well, because I remember in 2015 we were having lunch and you told me that Tellason was White Oak's 4th biggest customer.
Yeah.
And I thought he was talking about the little postage stamp selvage area. He was talking about the whole place.
Yeah.
So that's not possible that we could be the 4th biggest. We had an opportunity to produce about 1.5 years worth of fabric before they closed the doors. And it did last about 1.5 years, but prior, obviously, to running out of that fabric, we had to start the ball rolling with a new supplier in Japan. I had a plan not to contact any of them until July or August of 2018, because once you start the ball rolling, it's on, and we didn't need to move that fast. But then in April or May of 2018, Kaihara contacted us.
Yeah.
And the whole process of replicating the fabrics when it comes to the shade and the rigidity was a great process, and it came out beautifully.
The whole point was to kind of match stuff that you
because
making.
you're in an environment like this, if you had a stack of white oak jeans in one fabric and then you did a reorder 6-8 months later, and all we had was the Kaihara, hopefully at the store level it would look very similar.
Yeah. You find something you like in life, could be a favorite bread at your local bakery or something like that. And when they're out of it, you're sad. When they have it, you're not. Like, oh, I need bread. This is what I like, you know. When we send them that next pair that they ordered, and they just put them on, and they look at them, and they feel them, and they realize, like, yeah, this is what I just wore out. Yeah. And actually, it's not. It's the mill is halfway around the world, but that's how good the Japanese are at replication.
John Graham Miller, which was the original jean.
Right.
Do you want to tell me how this sort of came about?
17 years ago, we started talking about one fit. Yeah. Right. So what's that fit going to be? We could have done anything, right? But what we wanted was something really classic. You know, if you see a picture wearing the one jean that we're making 20 years from now, are you going to look at that and go, bloody hell, what did I buy? What is that? It's like, no, you look at a jean 20 years from now that you had on and like, oh, that's a proper pair of jeans.
And this is a slim, straight fit, but with a low rise in the back, but as you can see, not super low in the back, which is a good thing. We spent 100 days perfecting this fit. Usually the jeans in production are made on a production line like this, but the samples are made by one person. So the moment we found out she was almost finished with the first one, we went to the factory. Pete pulls his pants down, tries them on. I'm making little micro changes to fit, etc.
Yeah.
And then go back to the pattern maker, start over again. And literally after over 3 months, we felt it was ready for the public to see. One interesting thing about these, and if you look around the shop here, you'll probably see that 90% of the jeans have the panel over the back yoke. Ours is the opposite. The back yoke over the panel.
Okay.
And originally it was the opposite of this. And we started playing around with doing the opposite, same pattern pieces, same everything, but it totally fit differently and better by that.
Why is that, do you know?
I think it's just with raw denim especially, having the yoke panel or the yoke piece more prominent than the leg panel. For some reason, it just fit better. Again, it was the first fit, and it worked really well because the first 5 customers that we targeted, 2 in Seattle, 1 in Portland, 2 in San Francisco, all bought it. They bought about 120 pair between the 5 of them. And we called other shops in the U.S. and said, hey, they bought it. And so by the time we went to produce these, we made 240 pair, and they were already all sold. For those who don't know, John Graham Miller's Joe Strummer's real name, and a very important person in American history or British history.
And our history, I guess,
both,
is
both American and British.
A cultural leader that he is with that. So
that was 2008 that first released.
That's 2009 it came out, but we started working on it in 2008 and shipped it in April of 2009.
And then how long was it till the next gene came about? How long did you stay?
About a year and a half, because we were doing, do you remember the blog called The Continuous Lean?
Yeah.
It was big back when blogs, when people had more attention span, I guess, for blogs. It was a big deal in our industry.
Yeah.
And the founder of that wanted to do a collaboration gene, but he was a little bit too husky to wear the Meller.
Yeah.
So we devised the Ankara straight leg, because that's where Joe Strummer was born.
Yeah.
And it was weird though, because this was pre-Zoom and all that, I guess, but he's in New York, we're in San Francisco. We make a sample based on what we think would fit him as a bigger guy and send him a sample, and then his assistant would videotape him and send us the video via email, and we would look at that and make changes. And finally, after 3 or 4 runs, we landed on the fit we still have. And in fact, that's what Pete's wearing today, is the Ankara straight leg.
So it's just the leg that's changed, or is there any change to the rise or the?
Well, compared to the Meller, this is higher in the rises.
Yeah.
It's fuller throughout the hips and the seat and the leg. It's a completely different fit. It's really a true straight leg. Yeah. So it's the kind of fit that anybody could wear. Yeah. They may have a preference for more of a taper or lower rise, but literally anyone could wear this fit. And
then after that, there was, am I right in saying it was the Ladbroke Grove next?
It is. We did a collaboration many years ago with Denim in Amsterdam.
Yeah.
And it was with the Meller fit. And I saw the guys in New York a few months after they got the collaboration jeans, and they looked different. And they said, oh, us and all of our customers who bought them took them to the tailor and had them tapered, because at that time everyone in the Netherlands was wearing tapered. Yeah. So, there's our next fit, because obviously, and now it's actually probably our best seller over the years.
Yeah.
But that's just the same thing as the Meller, from the waist to the knee, and then it just tapers below the knee to a bottom opening that's about 1.5 inches narrower.
Yeah. After the Ladbroke, what was it next? What was the next gene?
Gustav is a very specific fit. It's not related to the Meller or the Ladbroke. The main thing that makes that a difficult fit for a lot of people, and also a special fit if guys can put it on and they're a big fan, is that below the knee, the taper, it ends up around the same circumference as the Ladbroke, but it's a straight down taper. If you're skinny calves, then it's great because it stacks up beautifully. I would say of all of our fits, it's the slowest seller, but we'll never get rid of it because there's people that are huge fans of it. After that was Sheffield, which is a tapered version of the Ankara, but just below the knee. So from the top, it's the same. When we asked people, hey, the Ankara is a great fit, some guys didn't want as much room at the bottom covering their boot or their shoe, so we just made a tapered version of that. Yeah. Same thing with the Elgin, which is a derivative of the Ladbroke, which is such a great seller and such a great fit for most people. The question was to retailers, when people go into a store and try it on and they don't buy it, what do they say? Yeah. Oh, they love it, but they just wish it was a little bit higher rise. So the Elgin's basically a mid-rise Ladbroke.
Nice.
You know, and that works for everybody as well. And we've found over the last few years, and you probably see the same thing in the shop, that mid-rise fits are really, it's just kind of if you pull a pair of jeans on and don't look down at all, but just where it sits, it kind of feels like what you expect.
I think one thing that I think is a unique thing for Tellason is the fact that there are no wash jeans. Everything's raw, which I think it's an interesting choice because so many people are kind of get scared off by the idea of raw and sanforized jeans.
I use Apple for an example. If Apple made a microwave, how many Apple microwaves would be in the homes today? How long would the line be outside when they're launching the microwave? Because it would be amazing. Apple's like, a microwave? We don't want to make a microwave. We make phones and laptops.
Yeah.
they don't want to be everything to everybody. And so that sensibility, like whatever you do choose to make fantastic. And so the laundering part and everything, it's our attempt, I think, just to live that authentic life.
It's just impossible to recreate in even the best denim laundries in the world what this look is. Because that's all natural, that's his life, and that's what we're trying to do every time we try to convince one guy at a time. I mean, there's so many analogies. No one buys pre-chewed food. No one's buying a new car with dents in it and scratches and flat tire. That's a used car. You know, it's the same thing with denim. And it's just, all denim was this way until the 70s when someone threw some stones in their washing machine, you know?
Both of us, as owners of this brand, we've all only ever had one pair of jeans. That's it. Because this is all right. I mean, I'm okay with the new pair, but I'm not attached to it yet, right?
Yeah.
Am I attached to these? 100%.
Yeah.
And I mean, at the end of the day, you end up with not only a unique wear pattern based on your life, but also the fit.
Yeah.
You know, because it molds to your body. It has the ability to do that when it's rigid, and it sort of becomes a custom fit, you know, in a way too. So it's just, I mean, very important to us.
Yeah.